In Death Fields, the only sport is war, and the Einherjar are the dwarves that run it. So let's paint them. Start with a primer of Mechanicus Standard Grey and begin with sticking on scale green over the armour plating. Then turning the undercloth back over with Mechanicus Standard Grey base paint. After that, apply Mournfang Brown over the leather and optional fur colour. And use Markov Flesh to paint over any of the visible skin on the face. Thousand Suns Blue is to be used as the base coat for the lenses and scanner lights. Instead of using dried bark for wood, we'll be using it for his moustache instead. Now onto the metallics, starting with Ironite Steel to go over most of the gun. Follow it with bravest gold over the Terminator helmet and try not to get it over any of the other paints. Have a final base paint of Mithril Blade over the decorative gem and we can start to shade everything. The first shade is Null Oil, going over the blue, steel and grey over the entire model. Then on all the fur, brass and leather, apply on some Agax Earthshade. Next up is Flesh Wash over any of the visible skin. Make sure to soak up any excess with a dry brush. While that dries, apply some Blood Angels Red onto the silver to emulate the gem. Once the flesh is dried, apply some Carabred Crimson onto the bottom lip and the shading step is done. For the first layer, use Sojek Green over all of the plating, and don't forget to be careful around this point. And Dawnstone to be painted on all of the cloth that is visible to the sunlight. Gorthar Brown is left with two jobs, layering all of the leather and gloves, and layering the bottom half of the fur collar. Then layer the top half of the fur collar with Baneblade Brown. The moustache will need a layer of Mournfang Brown all over, then a doss of Baneblade Brown on the tips to show age. Now we can layer the flesh with Flayed One Flesh. Sentient Turquoise next, just to carefully layer on the lenses. Now be really careful as white scar is being used to highlight the lenses and even the gem. Finally, we can finish the metallics, starting with Cycrax Bronze over all the brass detailing on the belt and helmet. Then finish the gun with Runefang Steel, and the model is finished, and you can start working on the base now. To start the base, use Azure Granite over the entire base. Don't forget to keep it thin while applying it. Once the granite dries, apply some Null Oil over the entire model. Dry brush on some Administration Grey onto the areas not under the model and we can start painting that rim. We won't be using any glass tufts for this model, so we'll just use some Abaddon Black on the rim and you can call it fully finished. And there you have it, a Dwarf Viking fit and ready for the war sport. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you another time.